Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at the Stronach 5 wager for this Friday, September the 27th. A $1 minimum wager, 12%, very low takeout. And let's take a look at the first leg at Laurel Park. It's race number 8. Last week in the Stronach 5, nobody picked 5, which means there is a carryover of $107,353.23 into this week's wager. 2 races from Laurel, 1 from Gulfstream, 1 from Golden Gate, and opening day at Santa Anita. There's 1 race from Santa Anita as well. We'll open things up with race number 8 at Laurel, 5.5 on the turf, $16,000 maiden claimer. I'm going to just mention horses that I am looking at. We are pre-program changes. We are pre-track conditions. As usual, I'm going to give you horses that have caught my eye that I'm thinking of using in my Stronach 5. Use them, discard them, do what you will with them. But when you play the Stronach 5, it's probably wise to use the ticket maker application available on DRF Bets and DRF.com, where you can weigh your opinions based on Steve Christ's formula of A's, B's, and C's. And in leg A, I'm really not enamored with the horses that have raced already. The 2 Can the Queen is a first-time starter with a little bit of pedigree. Her stallion, Can the Man, has gotten off to a very hot start with turf runners. Can the Man is 7 for 29 with first turf runners. In addition, this dam has already foaled 3 turf winners. Quick gate work at Delaware Park on September the 21st. Good inside post position for a trainer that wins a lot of races. Can the Queen 5-1 on the morning line is a horse that I would certainly consider using as an A in the first leg of the Stronach 5. 2 other horses caught my eye as well as potential A's. The one is Tempted by Tito's. Now, Tempted by Tito's made her turf debut 3 starts back. It was against Maiden Special Weight Company. It was her first race off a 7-month layoff. She showed big speed, and she understandably tired in a race that was just too tough for her. She returned the following month for a $25,000 tag. It was a yielding turf course. It was an outside post position. She rushed up while wide to battle for the lead, and she wasn't embarrassed behind a runaway winner. They ran her on dirt last time out. Don't hold that loss against her. She fits for 16. She's got speed. She's got the inside post. I would use her as well. The 12 Dixie's Fascinator at 6-1 on the morning line is a horse that is also worth considering. 3 starts back was her most recent turf sprint, and she ran pretty well to be 4th, coming from way off of the pace. That race was the faster division of $25,000 maiden claiming turf sprints at Laurel for the fillies and mares. Since that race, they tried her 2 turns. That's not her game. They tried her 4 furlongs on the dirt. That's not her game. This is her game, but it is a tough post position. For backup purposes, you might want to consider the 8 Princess Rosie. This is a filly that's lost 13 times. She is a bit exposed, but she also has a little bit of early speed, and I think she can be in the hunt under Horatio Caramanos, who picked this horse over another one for trainer Ferris Allen. 9-2 on the morning line for Princess Rosie. Maybe I'd use as a backup. As of right now, before Scratch's program changes, leg A, 1-12 will be my A's. 8 will be my backup. Not sure if it's going to be a B or a C just yet. We move to South Florida for leg B of this week's Stronach 5. Again, big carryover as we take a look at this field, 107,000 plus in the carryover. This is a mile on the turf, and it's a $25,000 maiden claimer for 2-year-olds. I'm interested a little bit in the 9. Verdict is in. This is a horse that sprinted on the turf last time out. It was the turf debut, improved by leaps and bounds, finishing second at a big price by Lee out of an Arch mare. I think that this horse is going to appreciate stretching out in distance and can be close to the pace switching to Paco Lopez. He just seems like a logical candidate for improvement. The 11 El Duque is a horse I have to admit I'm getting a little bit tired of his act. He's a 9-time loser already, but he's run some decent races, a 52 buyer, 3 starts back on the dirt, and the 44 buyers he's earned on the turf in his career put him in the mix. You just have to give El Duque a little bit of speed to set him up. And if you're looking for a true stranger, how about the 12 Maito? This is a first-time starter with turf on both sides of the pedigree by declaration of war out of an Arch mare, a horse that's going to have to work out a trip from a tough outside post, but has enough turf pedigree in a questionable race that maybe he can make his presence felt. He's 10-1 on the line. A horse that I'm considering using as a backup is the 7, the Doer. I mentioned that you want to have some pace in this race, and the Doer's the pace. 2 starts back, the doer ran 7.5 furlongs on the turf for 2-turn race, was able to make the lead, was very game, only beaten 3/4 of a length at 27-1. The connections put blinkers on last time out, and he just went way too fast. He blasted out to the lead, he took pressure, and he paid the price. This time around, the blinkers come off. I think he's going to run more to his race 2 starts back than to his race last time out, and if they leave him alone on the lead, perhaps he can make this field pay at a juicy 10-1 on the line. 9, 11, and 12 are my A's, 7 my backup in leg B at Gulfstream Park. We'll move to the Great Race Place opening day Friday. Not only 3 graded stakes races on tap, 2 of them Breeders' Cup win-and-you're-in races, but we've got the 3rd leg of the Stronach 5. We'll throw up the field for race number 4. Mile on the turf, optional claiming. Non-winners of one other than. I'm interested in the 2 and the 5, 6-1, 4-1 respectively. Those are the 2 leans for me because I got to get lean after spreading in the first 2. Curlin's Journey ran in the CTT and TOC stakes last time out, going 1 mile and 3/8. She sat a pretty decent trip, but that pace was very, very fast. And she made the first run into that fast pace to take a brief lead at the 3/16 pole, and then she tired behind some pretty nice horses like Siberian Iris and Pants on Fire. Class drop here. Distance relief, maybe not exactly what she's looking for, but I do think the Curlin's Journey is in excellent form right now. She just fits at this level. 6-1 seems like a fair price. Sunrise Royale, the number 5, looks like the speed of this race. She's stretching out from 5 furlongs, and I think that's got to be at least a little bit of a concern, but the way she won last time out was just very, very impressive. She went to the front, she put away another pace foe, and she just kept on keeping on. She won with an 81 buyer speed figure. It was a nice enough effort. This is a pretty big step up in class from the Calabreds to the non-winners of one other than, but I really do respect her speed, and if she's able to get to the frontier and back down the pace, she might be long, long gone. The 2 Curlin's Journey from the back, the 5 Sunrise Royale from the front, those are the 2 I key on in leg C of this week's Stronach 5. We move to Northern California, leg D, Golden Gate Fields, race number 4, 1 mile on the Tapeta surface. It is an optional claimer. Last week in the Stronach 5 race at Golden Gate, we saw a Southern California Invader win, and I'm going to hope for another one once again this week. Ruby Bradley is the number 9. This is a horse that I really think wants to go 2 turns, and in her last 2 races in Southern California, she was stuck sprinting. One in the Fleet Treat Stakes, a race in which she might have been overmatched against fellow Calbred Stakes horses, but last time out, going 6.5 furlongs, she was just out-sprinted on the outside and hard-ridden on the turn as if she was going nowhere, but once she got into the lane and she got that motor going, she started kicking it into gear, passing some horses late. She has already won around 2 turns in his career, has run creditably on a synthetic surface. I just think Ruby Bradley wants to go long, and the last 2 races were simply too short for her. She's a horse that I'll be keying on with most of my play in leg D, and if I have to use a couple of backups, the 1 Hurley, the 4 Please Do, they seem pretty logical. Hurley is going turf to synthetic for a very good trainer in Jonathan Wong. Last time out, that was a very fast pace she was chasing. She made the first move into that fast pace. She made the lead. She got tired. Breaking from the inside post here, I would expect her to relax just off of the pace and maybe can work out a trip, sort of what she earned 3 starts back on the turf. The 4 Please Do, claimed by the Martin barn, and that barn does very, very well off the claim. This is a 6-time winner, a real rock-solid mare, a horse that runs well equally on synth and on turf, and I just think she's ready to take the step back up into the non-winners of one other than optional claiming condition. But for me, most of the play surrounds the 9, Ruby Bradley, the 1 and the 4, backups. We conclude the sequence. Race number 10 at Laurel Park, 1 mile on the turf. Let's throw up the field. $16,000 non-winner of 2 life claimer for fillies and mares. Wide, wide open. From a pace standpoint, I want to look at a horse like the 8, Holiday Hopes. This is a horse that's done well going sprint to route in the past. She's going to try that once again here. 5.5 last time out. She chased outside. She was far from embarrassed. She gets a little bit of class relief. Is she hard to trust at 1 for 20? Yes. Is she going to get a good pace scenario sitting close to what I believe will be a moderate pace? Yes, she's a horse that I'll consider using. Not sure if I'll use her as one of my major plays, but I'm thinking of using Holiday Hopes as a B or a C. Outside posts Don't really love him at this distance at Laurel, but I think the strength of the field comes to the outside. The 10 Miss Oliphant, the 11 Smokin' Caracana, the 12 Mama D. These are horses that I would all use as A's. We'll begin in post position order with Miss Oliphant, a horse that began her career 0 for 15, and then she won by 6 lengths at Delaware, and then she came back last time out at this level on turf and ran really, really well at Laurel. She sat a nice trip inside. She altered course back to the rail and upper stretch. She only got beat a half length. The runner-up in that race came back to win on dirt. She's in good form. The 11 Smokin' Caracana made her first start against winners at Colonial last time out, was buried down towards the inside, really didn't finish with as much gusto as I had hoped, but she was also 60-1 in that race. Those were non-winners of one other than, and she is taking a gigantic class drop. Hopefully she can get a little bit closer to the pace here. And the 12 Mama D is now a 37% trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. Last time out, she made a big 3-wide bid into a fast pace, flattened out. She's done some good running in New York in her career. She just seems to fit this level. I think the 10, 11, and 12 are the horses to beat in the final leg. The 8 horse for deeper pocketed Stronach 5 players could be used as a backup. Once again, $353.23 carryover in this Friday's Stronach 5. Leg A, the first leg, Laurel Park, race number 8, approximate post time 5:09 Eastern. Good luck.